Welcome everyone to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI Network. This is Trey Law, my co-host, J-Bone. J-Bone, say hello to the throwback people.
What is up, everyone? It's happy Tuesday.
And J-Bone and I hung out last night. We had dinner in person last night, huh, J-Bone?
We did.
We went to the greatest restaurant ever created, the Cracker Barrel, where we ate entirely too much. J-Bone got yelled at by Mrs. J-Bone for eating a what was that, J-Bone? A Coca-Cola chocolate cake? What the hell was that you had at the end?
Yeah, I pretty much wiped out their dessert case. They didn't appreciate that.
It looked delicious. But what was it again? What was it called?
It was like a Coca-Cola chocolate. I don't know. It had chocolate. It was a very, very chocolatey, and apparently there's also Coca-Cola in it, but they put Coca-Cola in it instead of yeast.
Yeah, fascinating.
That's what the guy said, at least. And yeah, so I had like 10 pieces of it. No, I have 1 piece.
No, yeah, we asked the guy. I asked Jay, I said, does it taste like Coca-Cola? He's like, no. So when the waiter came around, who was very nice, by the way.
Yeah.
He came around and I said, what makes it a Coca-Cola cake? And he said, you use Coca-Cola instead of the yeast. And I'm like, that's fascinating. I've never heard of that being a thing before. And look, I was about to ask you for a bite, J-Bone. If I'm going to be truthful, I was going to say, J-Bone, can I have a bite? But I figured I was going to wait till Mrs. J-Bone asked for a bite first. But then she just stole a bite. And then you looked at her kind of crooked and you said, wait a minute. You know, you yelled at me about getting this and you just stole a bite. And I said, well, she already took the free bite. I can't ask for a bite now. So I was screwed.
Well, because I asked her, I'm like, do you want to share a piece? And she's like, she was like, oh no.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. And she's like, you shouldn't be having it either. And the second it came, she got the first bite. I feel like all women do that. I feel like the wives, the girlfriends, the moms, they all do that. They all don't want to be the one ordering it, but when you order it, they want to take that bite. I think all our listeners can agree to that.
Right. They don't want to have a piece. I'll just have some of yours. No, just order a piece.
Order a piece. This is mine.
And if they can't finish it, I will.
That's true.
I'll take one for the team.
That's right. Just want to say hello to everybody in here. Punk Trace, which is Erik, and Brian. Thank you guys for the super stickers. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Always appreciate it for that. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for the late night. The late night for Hemi tonight. Tuesday's our practice night. We're going on a little mini tour next weekend, so we had to get the practices in, get the set list tight before we head out on the road. So had to get that taken care of. So we had tonight and next Tuesday before we hit the road Thursday. So had to get that in, but I appreciate you guys giving us a little extra time tonight. But we are going to do this throwback show. We're doing NWA-TNA number 93, J-Bone. We are 93. Oh yeah, 93. 18 episodes left. That's all we're at. 18. We skipped last week because it was the holiday week and we had a bunch of going on. So we skipped last week. But we're back now. We'll be on next week. Yeah, so we'll keep going. I don't see any aside from when does Christmas fall in this year, J-Bone? What's the Christmas week looking like this year? Christmas is Christmas is on a Saturday this year. That's weird. So that week is pretty open. We'll probably get it that week too. Yeah,
we might. Yeah.
Well, I think we'll be able to keep going through December. I think we'll be fine in December. So we should be okay.
I mean, I might be in a Christmas coma, the following week, depending on how much I eat. But,
yeah. But cool. All right, guys. Let's anything else, Jay? What else is going on? Anything major, anything breaking to talk about?
Oh, I found out something. It's not like Impact related, but there's a ton of people from Impact that are going to be at this show. And I did find this out today. So number one, the show that I'm going to this weekend, it's Blizzard Brawl in Waukesha, Wisconsin, is technically it's all the seating is sold out. They're only allowing standing room only now, tickets for $20 now.
It's a great venue though. The thing is about this venue, that Expo Center it's at, it's a venue in the round. And it's
Right.
got a dome. It's got a domey, kind of like a triangular domed roof. It's really interesting.
It's very unique. Yeah.
I love that venue. I've been there about 3 times. I've been to 3 Blizzard Brawls there. I love it.
Yeah. This will officially be I haven't been there in a few years. So I was 2 years ago, whatever it was, right before everything went to shit. When Willie Mack faced Sami Callihan.
What was that noise, J-Bone?
That was my phone freaking out. Yeah.
It's basically a mini Impact show, though.
It's listening to me. Yeah. So what I found out is it's getting some great local news coverage. Mm-hmm. And the former Braun Strowman, who is now Adam Shear or the Titan, whatever you want to call him, he was doing some local news today.
Oh, really?
And he said that between him and EC3, all the monies that they bring in from signings, autographs, pictures, whatever comes in, they are donating 100% to the families of Waukesha that were hurt during the parade.
Now that is beautiful. That they are doing something like that is so cool.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, this lunatic who killed all these people in Waukesha, this psychopath.
Yeah.
Who ran over people during a Christmas parade. Kids and everything. Son of a bitch who did that. Yeah. Ruined it's a really nice town. And it doesn't have this kind of shit happen in it. And
right. It made national news like the day after the Kenosha, Rittenhouse trial news. It's like it's like, wow, just once again we made news for all the wrong reasons. It's like, hey, way to go. It's
the Wisconsin suburbs are like these suburbs are nice. These are nice towns, and this is fucked up, man. So I think that's very, very awesome of Sheer and EC3. I love that. I love hearing that. Those guys are doing some really cool stuff with the Free the Narrative. I really highly encourage everybody go check out EC3's narrative on YouTube. It's different. He's up to something. There's more to come. He does a new podcast now with Vince Russo called the EC3 brand or something like that. 3 brand. It's great.
Oh,
and
wow.
He's fired up, man. You guys have no idea. EC3 is on a whole other level right now, trying to do a lot of interesting stuff. And Shear's with him on this. His boy Spud's going to be there because Spud got released, right? So Spud's going to be back in the mix, and his whole crew is going to be on this at some point. So that's awesome. Props to them. Definitely, it's going to be a fun show. I should be there as well. But if not, J-Bone will be there, and he'll give us a full report.
Oh, yeah.
Can I talk about these Slammiversary VHS tapes that make no sense?
Yeah, go ahead and bring those up because it relates. I mean, we're talking old school stuff. I mean, this is the throwback. So it's if we're talking VCR tapes, yeah, that's a throwback.
I have 2 VCRs still, J-Bone, because in case you got to dub something, I still got 2 VCRs sitting right over here. So I got 2 VCRs. I should be buying this. I think it's so weird all of a sudden. But then I saw today, I got a text from Danny Daniels, and he sent me a thing that said that they released Joey Janela's Spring Break on VHS today too. So I'm like, is this the new thing? Now is everybody going to Goodwill to buy VHS of the VCRs now? What the hell is going on? Like, so weird.
I wouldn't trust Goodwill. It's like you could buy one probably at Walmart for like $20 or something. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Yeah. But Slammiversary 2021 is on VHS and Shop Impact. Now I did do my Shop Impact Black Friday or Cyber Monday order, J-Bone. I did get me the DVDs. I got caught up in my DVDs, and I picked up a Swingers Palace t-shirt. I had to do that.
Nice. Yeah.
Not that I need more t-shirts, but
those were $5 off. So you got a nice chunk off.
Plus another $4 off with the 20% off deal. So
there you go.
Is this VHS thing going to be a thing? Mark said, from a retro collector's thing, it's like it's right up his alley. He'd buy it. I just find it weird. I'm more puzzled how Impact hasn't released Blu-rays yet, but they're putting out a goddamn VHS. Can you guys fucking put out a Blu-ray, some comprehensive Blu-rays maybe, instead of worrying about VHS? Like,
well,
what?
And what if you own a beta machine? You know, are they going to put out a set of betas too? You know,
beta. I don't know. Do you have a beta, Max?
No. No, but I'm sure because there's got to be some lunatic out there that has.
Oh, I'm sure. Like I said, I have two VCRs. I mean, that's crazy enough. Because you still gotta one day I'm gonna have to dub something. But how much are they charging for this fucking shit here? I'm looking right now. 25 bucks.
25 bucks.
25 bucks.
Well, it's
a double. It's like the Titanic VHS.
It's cheaper than the cards. I mean,
yeah. How much are the cards?
I don't know, 30 some bucks.
Really? God damn. Son of a bitch. That's a lot.
Yeah.
The new Hard to Kill t-shirt is out as well, by the way, with the new logo. Because remember, last year's was more of a blocky logo.
This one's more of a scratch or whatever.
Yeah, it's like the Attitude Era type scratch. But what I don't like about the new one, it's got the date on the bottom. The other one didn't have the date. It just said Hard to Kill, which I thought looked cooler. The new one's that's got the January 8th on there. It looks a little. I don't know. I like the old one that just said Impact Hard to Kill. I thought it was cool.
Well, it makes sense. Like if you're there,
have two versions.
You're not, just
have two versions of it then. If that's the case.
Right.
But all right, let's jump in, Jay. Let's get in here. Mark's right. We're plugging the fucking shot like a couple of marks. So stupid. What the hell? What have they ever done for us? Seriously. All the shit we've done for him. He could have sent us a couple. We should be getting some Hard to Kill t-shirts for God's sake. Son of a bitch, man. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah, Jabe, I'm gonna reveal it here. I told you. I was told that Impact Brass was considered starting a podcast at one point, and they were thinking of names, right? And apparently Scott D'Amore came up with Total Nonstop Impact, and he thought it was genius. And then they went and looked it up to see if anybody had it, and they saw we were all over the place. They saw like all the shit we do, and they were like, "Son of a bitch!" And like they were like, "Fuck!" Somebody already has like the best name for an Impact podcast, so they scrapped. They didn't do it.
Well, I got one word for the brass.
What's that? Is it a
good job, Scott? Good job.
That's actually two words. Good job.
He's all over this throwback we're about to do right now. So let's jump in right now, J Bone. This is NWA-TNA number 93, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, 2004. Now, I was on Dave's couch, and he was hammered because it was Cinco de Mayo. And so where the couch was, where the living room was, his dad, now Dave's Italian, okay? Old school. His father's from the old country. Okay? And they like to have the good alcohol. They have the quality shit. So you had the room, the couch, TV, the other couch, and then the rest of the living room, dining table, and all that stuff. And then there was a mirror wall, J-Bone. And the last mirror block opened up into a secret liquor closet. There's a lot of booze in that closet. And Dave was rocked for Cinco de Mayo. But we had Mexican food because it was Cinco de Mayo, so we went nuts, burritos and shit, Great night. Great Wednesday night.
Taco Bell?
Probably. Probably. I wanted some today after band practice, and I was like, I got to get home and do this damn show. But I really want to Taco Bell. It was one near the studio, and I was like, son of a bitch, I really want some Taco Bell. But, all right, let's jump in here, man.
All right.
Let's get in here. So, J-Bone, I was on Dave's couch. What were you doing May 5th, 2004?
Trent.
That is not an appropriate question.
Fair enough. Let's move on. All right, let's move on.
I was probably Cinco de Drunko too. I'm just
probably most likely. All right, let's jump in here.
It's a week after my birthday, and I was probably like, all right, it's time to fill it up again.
Now, as we know, I remember, and Sabin, I confirmed it too, that number 100 is a big deal episode. It's a huge one, actually. It's but and that's Slammiversary. It's interesting how that became how the 100th episode kind of falls into like the June Slammiversary time frame, which is what's going to happen. And they're about 7 weeks from it. They're not hyping the road to 100 yet at this point. However, what they do tease on this episode is that the following week is going to be the biggest announcement in company history. I don't remember what it was. I didn't move ahead. I don't think it's the TV deal announcement because it's a little early, but it could be.
That's what I would guess.
That's what I thought, but I'm like, we're only in May, and they don't leave for a bit, so I'm curious. Not too sure where we're falling on that one, but anyway, we'll get to that.
It wasn't. I don't know what I was going to say. When was when did Jeff Hardy come in? Did he come in at the start of TV or before TV?
No, he comes in at that. I think he comes in at 100 at the Slammiversary. He comes in at number 100. He's like the guest on 100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I believe it's Jeff and Age. I'm trying to remember who he fought. I don't want to look ahead. I love the reliving it, and I love that J-Bone's doing it for the first time. So it's kind of nice that we're looking at it like fresh.
Yeah, I knew that was coming, but I didn't know where exactly it fell. And I know that TV's coming soon, so I'm guessing it's something
related.
Like
yeah. But we open up. The show opens. 3 Live Crew is out by the commentary table, and they're demanding that Mike Tenay get in the ring and interview them immediately. But then Russo comes out and like kind of intervenes. And 3 Live Crew is accusing Russo of screwing them with the ref issues from the week before the match with Ron Killings and all that. And they're demanding a rematch. This was so weird. At one point, I think the word alpha male is used here. And Monty Brown just walks out. No music. Monty Brown just walks out and just starts going into like some weird ass tirade. And he's like, "You guys call for me?" And they're like, "We didn't call for you." He's like, he's like, "You guys use my name? You guys, you want to talk to me?" They're like, "Nobody asked for you to be here." He's like, and then he starts going into some weird shit, Jay. It's like, did you catch this? Like, this was so weird.
He starts referencing the jackals from the Lion King.
It was so weird.
And talking like Whoopi Goldberg did during the movie. It was the most like ridiculous. Like I've seen him do a lot of like, promos in the back and the whole pounce thing. And we love Monty Brown. But this was like, just, after this, I was like,
which one's Jay?
That's totally what it was. But he starts going on.
Like, is he okay?
I mean, his whole thing is he's kooky, right? Like he's off his rocker.
Totally.
But he does. So BG takes a shot at him, saying you fumbled in the NFL, and what makes you think you can walk into the NWA? But then Monty kind of goes into a pretty strong promo at this point, and talks about he's gonna, everybody's gonna feel the pounce, and then he starts brawling with all of them. Just starts fighting all 3. Black shirts come out, break it up, and then Russo says, 3 Live Crew, you have a half hour to get the hell out of this building. You are out of here. You're done. 30 minutes. I want you out of this building. You've caused enough problems. So that was interesting.
Russo is all disheveled by the end of this. Buttons all popped.
Yeah.
R-Truth gets like crackhead crazy on him.
Yeah.
He's got him up by the collar and he's like, "Give me my title shot. Give me my title shot."
I agree with
Russo's like, "F this, I'm out of here."
Yeah, he's like threatening Russo. I agree with Mark. It was a little too long, and I'm still on that whole thing. Like, you got your title shot last week. You're blaming the ref stuff. I get it. But it went a little long. I don't know if like Monty. I guess they're setting up Monty and feuding with these guys, but man, it did go a little long. I don't know. I'm gonna put that on Monty because you could see BG kind of looking at him like, "The hell are you talking about?" Like he's looking at him like, "Get the fuck on with it."
Well, between the preview leading into the intro, this segment, the next thing with Hudson and Raven sitting down, and then they had like a pre-taped Kazarian thing. It was over 15 minutes before the first match. That's too long.
That's a lot because that's some WWE shit from around that time.
You're digging into Triple H, Stephanie time.
Oh, I remember it was a running joke that they would literally open every Raw with a 20 to 30 minute promo, and it's like, God damn it, like, shut the fuck up. And that's what this felt like. This was long because we go to Scott Hudson with Raven, talking about the title match later, which I think I got views on this one. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. And then we go from that to Monty Brown. I'm sorry, to Frankie Kazarian. Sorry, and it's a pre-tape, putting himself over. And Jay, I don't know about you, I kind of forgot he was the X Division champion at this point. Like I kind of, there's been so much other shit going on. I kind of forgot he was holding the belt.
Yeah, well, it's he's been a little secondary with all this this X Cup thing going on, because now there's 4 teams.
Yeah,
it's really blown up, like where the finals and this current cup thing are going to happen in a few weeks from now, and end of May or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I'm like, wait, where? So this is for like a new number 1 contender or something? And I guess it's not really for a new number 1 contender thing. It's 3 strikes and you're out. So whoever loses this doesn't get to go for the title again for a long time or something. I don't know. This is kind of it's got Russo written all over it. You know, it's like, all right, it's
a theme thing. Yeah, the 3 strike series.
If you lose, you get put up on a pole or something.
That's not.
I'm so confused.
But it's a 3 strike series. Basically, it's a best of 3. But he gave it a name, which is fine. I don't mind. I don't mind adding like a name to something. It's just a best of 3, you know, it's kind of something to add to it.
3 strike series, yeah.
Which I actually like the name. I thought it was kind of cool for a best of 3, and it's Sonjay and Red who are going to be a part of it.
Right. So no complaints there. You know, you're going to get good stuff.
Yeah, I dug that. And then we go to it's the first match. It's Red and Sonjay.
Yeah.
Sonjay gave up a spot on Team NWA to go for the title. Again, it's crazy to me. This is 04. It's 12 or 13 years later until he wins that X Division title for the first time. And he wins it because he booked himself to win it. That's what it took. I cannot figure out how he was like the only guy from that era who was there the whole time.
Yeah.
And they never put the belt on him, even during the Jay Lethal feud. I can't figure it out. I don't know what it was with Sonjay.
So, I don't know if it was just timing or what, but he was so good. Like, I forgot how good he was. Like, I was never a huge fan of him. Yeah. But yeah, I'm watching this first run of Sonjay Dutt. He's freaking amazing.
Dude, keep in mind, remember everything we watch on these throwbacks. I want to encourage people, just think of the time frame. Look from perspective of 04. Now you've seen it all, right? Like, we're gonna get to the Canadian Destroyer debut that happens on this show. Like, that's huge. Now you see 10 of them in a match, every fucking match. But like from 04, like, this guy was cutting edge, man. Sonjay was different at the time. I know the match was great. Like, Red's interesting. Did you catch this, J-Bone? Red's music, the beginning of it. Did you catch what it was? Like the opening note of his entrance music.
Oh, it's Running with the Devil.
Yes. I was wondering. I was like, I gotta put this down and see if Jay caught this, because it's.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I noticed it a couple weeks ago when they changed it, when he came back.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, how did they not get in trouble for this? It's crazy.
They just used that one note, and that was it.
Right.
Kaz comes out at the top of the match and makes a black shirt security open a folding chair for him. He sits on the ramp and watches the match. It's a standard X Division type match. I thought it was just standard. it didn't have as many high spots as I thought it would because.
Well, that's the thing is it was very different. I mean, it picked up later, but they focused on limb work.
Yeah,
that was David Penzer here.
Penzer's in here. David,
nice.
the voice. And hey, David looked. I just caught up on Turning Point, and Penzer looked fantastic. I love the boxing type intros for the title matches. By the way, Penzer, keep that. Whoever's made that decision, David, I love it. I love that the title matches are having you when they have David in the ring and they're doing the boxing style, in this corner and that corner. I love that. I think that's a good look. But anyway, go on.
It makes it feel big.
It does.
It does. It definitely sets it aside from the others.
The Knockouts title match happened, and he was in the ring, and I was like, man, that's kind of cool. Like that's old school. That's like when Buffer they bring in Michael Buffer. It was a special thing. I'm like, because you don't see David all the time on TV, so it's like, oh, he's in the ring. This is an important match now. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. You were going to say something about Sonjay and Red here.
Oh, it wasn't a typical high flying match. It was Sonjay working over Amazing Red's leg. He was really trying to ground him.
He grounded him a lot.
Because once you ground him, that takes away like 50% of his stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a very different match for them, but it was still really good. It just kind of caught me off. Like, wait, what are they? I'm like waiting for it to get good. Like it picks up later, but I'm like, what are they doing? But they were really telling a story because this is all still really close from. When they talked about today talking to Amazing Red, like, okay, well, how is your leg doing? And he's like, well, it gets better week by week. It's like 85% right now. So it's like, so they really played into that. They talked about it,
Yeah. I will say, you're right. I was waiting for that moment where it was going to shift, like where they were going to go nuts, but they never got to that moment. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was really expecting that explosion to happen, but it didn't. So that was weird, but wasn't bad.
They saved it for later because they had the 4-on-4.
Sonjay wins match 1, so he's safe for now. We get a recap video of the whole dissension of the new franchise. Good to get a recap. Like if you missed any of the feud, this recap video kind of covered everything, which was good.
I needed that.
Yeah. And then we go to Scott Hudson with Michael Shane, and Scott asks, where's Tracy? And Michael says they have parted ways, and then he talks about the match, basically with coming up with Shane Douglas, and then we go to the match. Michael Shane and Shane Douglas. I like that. So Michael Shane enters first, and then you get it off screen, nowhere to be seen, and it's Shane Douglas talking some shit. And it reminded me of like Gozer and Ghostbusters, and after like they get rid of Gozer the first time, and it's like choose your destructor, Gozer that goes there, yeah. And it's like, what do you mean choose? Like the voice is just there, That's what it reminded me of, like choose and perish, and all that shit. It's like, clear your heads, and then fucking Marshmallow Man comes out and all that stuff. So, what did you do, Ray? Oh shit, that whole thing. but it was the whole like. The voice was just ominous.
That's a hilarious comparison.
It just popped in there.
I couldn't help myself. I tried my best.
What just popped in there?
I tried to think of the most childlike, friendly thing, and it's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
We used to roast Stay Puft marshmallows. Camp Wakanda. If you Google Camp Wakanda Ghostbusters, the definition is, in his youth, Ray used to roast Stay Puft marshmallows by the fire at Camp Wakanda. This location was brought up when the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was walking towards 550 Central Park West during the Gozer incident.
The Gozer incident.
I love it. Camp Wakanda. We used to roast Stay Puft Marshmallows at Camp Wakanda. But that's literally what it reminded me of when like Shane Douglas's voice appeared over the speaker. It's like choose and perish. Like what the fuck?
Mike's looking around. He looks back and Jeremy Borash is like, I don't know where this is coming from.
It's so funny. But then like he just comes out. He just comes out with he just comes out normally. Like Shane Douglas walks out, does an entrance. Tracy's with him.
She's like behind. It's like, wait, if they're together, why
did she turn on him last 2 weeks ago? Remember?
Well, no, I'm like, why did he run out ahead of her? Why aren't they, if they're together, why didn't they walk out arm in arm? Because then it's even more convincing. It's like, well, you ran out ahead of her. Why? You left her in the dust. Well, that's real nice. That's a great start.
But I couldn't figure out. She turned on Shane Douglas during their breakup, the whole breakup of the new franchise.
Right.
She turned on him and left with Michael Shane. And then this week, it's like you can hear TNA going, what, like trying to sell this, right?
Yeah.
And he's basically saying like, oh, it looks like she made a decision on her allegiance. It's like, why would Shane Douglas take her back? She literally turned on him 2 weeks ago. It made no sense.
Yeah.
It was so weird. I thought the match was great. I thought it was a storytelling match, and I thought you could see where Shane Douglas anchored Michael Shane, and he was like, you could see those moments. Slow down, kid. You know, do this. Like you could see where the veteran came out, and they told a good story, and I'm going to put that on Shane Douglas because I think he's one of the best storytellers in the game. But I don't know if you caught it, Jay, but like you can see where like Michael was kind of getting out of. He's kind of trying to do too much, and you would see Shane Douglas just bring him back, like tell the story, milk the story. I thought it was good.
Yeah, they did good. And I didn't feel like the audience was really into it. I felt like they were a little, I don't know, a little confused by it with the whole Tracy thing. But
the Tracy thing confused everybody.
Yeah.
Well, because later on, she gets on the apron, distracts the ref, tosses a chain to Michael. But he misses it. Shane gets it, knocks out Michael Shane, gets the win.
Yeah.
And then she turns on him again, on Shane again, and tries to hit him.
She tries to convince. She tries to convince Shane, like, oh no, I love you, and then swings, and he catches it like, bitch.
Then he spanks her. And then Michael gets involved, and then she chokes Shane Douglas with the belt. Michael super kicks him, and then they beat him down afterwards. But I'm like, she turned on you 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make any sense. Why did you come out with her? You know, as Loki would say, Mark wants to know what Loki thinks about this. You know, never trust a woman.
Yeah, it's goofy, you know.
It was goofy, man.
Yeah,
it was very goofy. I've got 99 problems, and Tracy Brooks 8-1. You know, that's what he's trying to say. But no, it's so weird. This was so convoluted. But the match was, I thought the match was a great storytelling match. I thought, and I like that about it. It was just a little messed up, but we get a World X Cup commercial afterwards, just to hype that, and then we go to this is Jay. I'm gonna let you take this segment here. I think this is something up your alley. It's involving one of your buddies here, Scott Hudson, with Team Canada. I'll let you take this here.
Oh yeah, so Team Canada's out there, and Scott D'Amour's out there. And he does kind of like a zoom in on the coats, and it's real like oh, they really look slick, you know. They got the red, black, and then they were talking about sponsors like Molson something, and they're like, oh yeah, Scott, Coach, we got you a jacket too, and Scott's all excited, like, oh, I got it. Now we really look like a team, you know.
He was getting crazy.
Hold on, calm down, just breathe.
Yeah, really. He just
He was,
he was all fired up, and then they all busted into the "Oh Canada," and then they stopped, and then he starts talking the French. Oh, the however he says it.
he's
I
like,
don't know.
"Oh yes, we're going to sing the for our French Canadian fans. We cannot forget our French Canadian people." And they go into the French version of "Oh Canada."
Yeah, like 3 out of the 4 of them are singing French. Someone's still singing the American version because they don't know French. So it just sounds.
Are you serious?
Like, if you go back and listen to it, it's like someone's off and not singing French. It's hilarious. And then
Quand embrasser, porter la pilasso. They go into the whole thing.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Your Peruvian's off though.
I do. I'll tell you what. I
and
do
it-
know the entire. I do know the entire Canadian national anthem by heart. I do know it because I'm a big.
You
Well,
watched way too much of the Rougeau brothers back in the
No,
day.
I'll tell you why. My favorite hockey team is the Edmonton Oilers, and they do a huge anthem where like the singer will sing the first line and then he'll put the microphone up and then the entire crowd would just sing it like crazy.
Okay.
So I always knew the Canadian national anthem because of my Oiler fandom, but it's a great national anthem. But go ahead.
Nice. So they're singing, and then all of a sudden, the 3 Live crew come out, and B Jizzle, BG James comes out. He gets in Scott's face, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay."
Yeah, like they just like walk up on the whole thing. And by the way, it's the kind of a it's a reformed Team Canada. It's you have Petey Williams, you have Bobby.
No more Teddy Hart. Yeah.
No,
so.
you have Johnny Devine. You have a young Bobby Roode, short-haired Bobby Roode back there,
Yes.
and Erik Young. So these 2 legends are getting started right there.
Two future world champs in there.
That's
crazy.
true. That's true, man.
Wild.
I'm trying to remember, who did Johnny Devine train that's currently on the Impact roster, J-Bone? Do you remember?
Oh
my
I think he trained A1. I don't know.
No, come on. No, somebody currently on the roster.
Oh, currently?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to, I thought it might be on his
Taylor Wilde. I don't know.
I don't know. I know he trained somebody who's currently. If anybody in the chat knows,
She's not technically on the roster. It's just trying to think of somebody that just came down from Canada. I don't know.
He's a former X-Division champion. I totally forgot about that. He was good. I forgot why he was cut short. Oh yeah, he left on his own. Look at this thing. He left because the wrestling was no longer fun for him. He did return to the one night only in 2013.
Okay.
And that was a one night only deal. But yeah, Johnny Devine. But yeah, 3 Live crew walks up and they say we're leaving. But then they make fun of the Team Canada. But Jay, you gotta mention the line that Petey says to Scott Hudson on the way out.
Oh yeah, he's Scott says something like, something about these Americans or you people or something, and then
says, no wonder everybody hates you people.
yeah, no wonder everybody hates you. And I'm like, and as I wish Bill was here because he would have popped for this. Scott goes, what?
So Ronan just confirmed it's VSK is who Devine trained.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
That I knew there was somebody. I knew I heard Stryker say it. I knew there was somebody on the current roster he trained. I just couldn't remember who it was.
That's Bill's other favorite.
Fucking VSK.
Yeah, right.
But we go to the match. This I think was the highlight. And Sabin I told us these were the highlights of these times. Team NWA, Jerry Lynn, Chris Daniels, Chris Sabin, Elix Skipper, taking on Team Canada. With Scott D'Amore, Bobby Roode, Erik Young, Johnny Devine, Petey Williams. Borash announces Roode as the team captain. TNA says, did we get our lines crossed? And we thought Petey was a captain. Okay, Ronan's lying. It wasn't. It's not VSK. Fucking Ronan. It wasn't VSK. It's somebody on the goddamn roster, man. It's not VSK. Somebody figure out who it is. But
yeah,
I think
Petey Williams is the.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because TNA was like, we get mixed up here, or did Borash just botch? So, dude, I don't know about you, but the crowd was on fire during this. Crowd was loving this.
Yeah, this was like the most fun that the crowd had. They loved this because this is another one of those where I was like, okay, this is, and it's not even necessarily X Division. This is just the best of the best that's on the roster right now. Because I never really considered half a Team Canada that's out there like X Division. You know, right. Roode was a tag guy, and then he became a world champ. Eric Young was another tag guy and became a world champ. Although I don't know if he's ever been X Division champ. I feel like Eric Young's held just about every belt there is, but I don't remember him holding X Division.
He was. He held the X title.
Was he?
He's held every title. I think the only belt, he even held the Knockouts tag team titles.
This is true.
There's one he didn't have. I'm trying to remember what it is. I think he's held every single title in the company.
Was that one that Moose held?
Oh yeah. I'm not sure if he had
the Grand.
I mean, listen, he's had, okay, here's his titles, right? 2-time NWA tag team champion.
Yeah.
He had the Legends / Global / Television / King of the Mountain championship 3 times.
Okay.
Knockouts tag team title, the beer drinking championship title, which against Storm, the Impact World tag team titles 3 times with Kaz, Nash, and Hall. And then later on, Kaz and then Hall and Nash was interchangeable, and then Rhino, Joe Doring, and Diener, which is the interchangeable thing. He's a world champion. They got him down as 2-time champion. He's only a 1-time world champion, though, isn't he? No, twice. He won it last year. I forgot.
Yeah, he won it when he came back.
2-time world champion.
Yeah.
X Division champion 1 time. Turkey Bowl winner 2011 and 2012.
Turkey Trot? What?
Turkey Bowl. Oh. The TNA World Cup in 2014 with Bully Ray Gunner and Eddie Edwards and ODB. King of the Mountain he won in 2016. He's the 7th Triple Crown champion. He's the 4th Grand champion, Grand Slam champion, like who's won all the titles. And then he's won 3 year-end awards. This dude's held everything. Like he's had every title in the company. It's fantastic. Wow. I love Eric Young to this day. He was the first TNA wrestler to connect with me as a fan and make me feel very important as a fan. And like really, and I told him, when I was down there last year, I said, I'll never forget, you were the first wrestler to ever like follow me on Twitter or reply to me that I felt connected, that I connected with. And I said, I'll never forget that. I said, it always meant a lot to me as a little mark, that I like he to this day is fucking cool as shit.
Yeah. So he is unique. Like I never really paid much attention to him until he left.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the whole GS Global Force Wrestling thing.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He went up north.
Yeah.
He was one of the very few people up in Appleton that day, that stadium show I went to. Yeah. He was one of the few people that was not on the opening for the whole meet and greet thing. Because he was the biggest heel on the show that day because he attacked Jeff Jarrett and stole his title.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but I was like, oh man, I wanted to meet Erik, but I met a lot of great people that day. So
do any of the listeners remember the "Don't Fire Erik" campaign back in the day? That was a good one too. There was actually T-shirts on Shop TNA with the "Don't Fire Erik."
Oh, he wore that one for a while. Yeah, I totally remember that.
That's a rare one. I don't know if anybody. I don't have that one. I wonder if Bill has the "Don't Fire Erik" T-shirt, because that's a hard one to get now. I don't think you can find that shit now.
If he doesn't, if he doesn't have it, I'm going to be disappointed.
I have a lot of the old TNA shirts, like a lot of the peak era shirts, like Black Machismo and shit. Like I have a ton because I used to get them. They used to do a lot of clearance sales, like the $5 shirts at one time.
Yeah.
And I used to just sweep of the $5 deals, man. I have so many TNA shirts. It's sick. Because they would just do it all the time. They'd just clear shit out. $5, take them,
Yeah.
And I would buy them for people like gifts and shit. Like, I'd buy friends like a little gift. They don't know what the fuck, like wrestling is. But some of those interchange, like I bought one that, I don't know, it was like a Bromans t-shirt from a buddy of mine who always said bro. And I was like, hey, look at this. Bromans,
bro.
He's like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, dude, it's great.
He's like, thanks.
Ronan, are you fucking with us or is this for real? Johnny Devine trained Josh Alexander. I think that's it. I think he's telling the truth on this one.
Oh, yeah. That honestly would make sense. I was
that's the one.
Trying to think like currently like who's from Canada. Yeah, that would make sense.
I think that's the one. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. I love me some Josh Alexander. I mean, come on. We just saw him the other day at AAW. Which, by the way, I gotta encourage people. Look, guys, if you didn't see the last AAW show, the Windy City Classic, there's half Impact Town on it. I mean, I don't know if you, for the Impact fans, I'm shocked you're not. If you're not watching AAW, I don't know why, but you gotta check it out, man. Rich Swann, Josh Alexander, Brody King were in a match. It was nuts. Yeah, Johnny Devine trained Josh Alexander. Thank you, Ronan. It is real. Where do we leave off here? Okay, so match was great. This match, guys. Jay, I'm gonna put this in the description of the video.
Okay.
This is the television debut of quite possibly the most famous move of our generation, the Canadian Destroyer. And did you hear the crowd pop when he did it?
Oh, it looked sick. Yeah.
They lost their fucking mind when he did it. They were like, what the fuck was that? Like, it was crazy.
They did a lot of crazy shit. They had a thing where Christopher Daniels was on top of Johnny Devine, who was on the shoulders of someone else, and he, whatever I can't even think. Frankensteinered him off the
that reverse one.
Oh my god, that was ridiculous. Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
It was a great match. I really liked it a lot. This was like, man, if this is the preview of the tournament coming up, shit, sign me up.
Scott D'Amore freaking out at ringside.
Yeah, it was good. It was pretty fun. It was just a great. I told Mark was watching it. And he's like, I had to stop. I got shit going on. And I was like, dude, whatever you do, go back and watch at least this match. So I don't know, Mark, I don't know if you did or not, but it was great. So D'Amore nails Jerry Lynn with the hockey stick and the Canadian flag on it. Roode pins it, Roode pins Jerry on this one. Gets the win. And then Scott Hudson is in Russo's locker room, and he's like, somebody's destroyed Ritz Russo's locker room out of anger. And he's like, I'm thinking it's 3 Live Crew, guys, but I'm thinking it's 3 Live Crew. That's what it's got to be. And then Kid Cash walks up and he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? What's going on here? And he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. Somebody destroyed the locker room. He's like, I'll tell you what, it wasn't 3 Live Crew, though. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean, Kid Cash? And he's like, I seen James Storm lurking around these parts. And he's like, what do you mean, James Storm? Then he's like, next time I see James Storm, I'm going to beat him like a government mule. Yeah. And then Storm kind of like hears this and like comes in and he's like, oh, what you got something to say? Got something to say, boy? And he like starts beating him, punching him, starts chasing him. And they chase. I love continuous camera.
Yeah.
And he chases them into the arena. And they fight through the crowd. They get into the ring and they brawl a little bit. Dallas comes in to help Cash. And then, but Storm smartly bails out of the ring. So they're setting that match up for the following week, basically. I thought that was good. Thought that was fun. That was a fun little deal. Yeah, what do you think of this feud that they're developing here?
Well, it's kind of reinvigorating the tag.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
They kind of do that throughout this.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're because the one thing that which we forget is the tag titles are held up right now.
Yeah.
They've been vacant for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, someone was it Russo or Rudy Charles ran off with him like he does every like few months. He grabs a title and runs away with it. Oh, we're holding it up.
I know.
Why? Just stop that.
Hey, look what I found in my drawer. It's a speaking of hard to kill, it's a hard to kill flyer from the Sammy and Tessa one, and signed by Sammy and Tessa.
Nice.
Look at that, but it's all bent up and shit, you know, whatever. It's all fun. Anybody want this?
Why did you put that in a frame?
I don't know. Probably put it in my pocket. Who wants it? Hey, how about this? Anyone that signs up, any Patreon signups in December, I'll raffle it off to them. How about that?
There you go.
We'll do that. Anyway, yeah, they're basically doing it. Now, okay, the next segment, I want to spend a couple minutes on this. We get a recap video of the Desire and Trinity feud.
Oh, yes.
New promos. Siaki said he's worried for her, and he's like, "You don't have to do this," and all that, you know. She's like, "No, I do," and this and that. And then we go to the match. Trinity comes out with Disco and Swinger.
It was so funny when they're playing the video back of her talking to Siaki. She's like, "I sat on my ass for 9 months for waiting to do this." It's like,
yeah, she's like really, really dramatic. And Siaki's like, "So what?" He's like, "So what's the big deal?" Like, who cares? You don't have to prove anything. And she's like, "I do." And then she walks out.
I gotta do this thing.
But so Trinity comes out with those two. Desire comes out with Siaki and Simon or Pat Kenny. Pat Kenny. The ref kicks all the guys out. And you know what? The match wasn't bad. The finish got a tiny bit choppy. You can see Desire kind of waited for the pin for a second.
Yeah.
Just for an extra second. Like she kind of waited for it, didn't really sell it into it. But I will say this. Desire sells very well. Did you catch this? She's so underrated. Dude, I thought she was getting murdered. That's how good she was selling.
Yeah, and the crowd popped for her too.
They love her.
Yeah.
Sabin was telling us, he said that they loved her because she was so sweet to all of them. She would come out after the show and meet everybody and take pictures and autographs. So I think that crowd is really into her, man.
They weren't Siaki looked like a lost little puppy. Like he wouldn't leave. He kept like slowly going up the ramp. Finally, Desire's like, "No, you can go. It's okay." And then because she was like distracted by him, and she loses. So it's like, no, Siaki, stop. They're not cheering for you. Just leave.
Yeah. It's but I like the role of Siaki here. I like the couple that they're open with, like them being a couple now. It's not a bad place for them. I don't mind it. I think it's a good little it's a good story for these two, and it's working. But I think Trinity wins. But there's a post-match attack, and she's like moonsaulting her. At one point, she puts Desire on her stomach and she puts a chair on her back and she's going to moonsault her. And Desire, here's what I couldn't figure out, Jay. So Desire's laying there with a chair on her back and Trinity's going up to moonsault her. But I think Siaki comes down and stops it. But like, and she's like, oh my God. But I'm like, you could have just rolled over. Like she's acting like the chair was like 1,000 pounds and she couldn't like get, oh my God, I can't roll over. This chair's in my back. But it's like, you could have just rolled over. It's just a folding chair. But so the post-match chaos. Now the next segment, Scott Hudson is outside. What do you think of this now, J Bone? Set this up now.
Oh yeah, with the
with Pat Kenny.
Oh yeah, Pat Kenny's getting just the crap beat out of him because Siaki's he's tending to Desire. So Pat Kenny's all by himself. So they show Pat Kenny getting the snot beat out of him from NYC, from Swinger and Gilberti.
Are you listening to what Swinger and Gilberti are saying under their breath the whole time? Like to him while they're beating him up?
Yeah, they're like, you're not even Irish or whatever.
You're not Irish enough. Oh, you want to be Irish? You want to be Irish, you leprechaun? Like they're just ripping it on him.
Yeah, they're saying all this like anti-Irish stuff or whatever.
It's
they poured some beers on him. I didn't catch what beer it was. It was out of a green bottle.
It looked like Heineken's to me. I don't know. It was green
Heineken or something. Yeah. And then and then they grabbed some neon green paint and dumped it all over him.
Like, you don't look Irish enough.
It's like, oh, okay, well, that's a lot more, you know, that shows up a lot more than just a little bit of beer dumped on a guy. Okay.
Yeah. And they were like beating him down, pouring paint on him. They're like, you want to be a drunk Irishman, huh? Yeah, they're pouring beer all over him and shit. And it was so wacky.
And then, oh my God, freaking the black shirt security shows up.
Mm-hmm.
They're not distressed. They just kind of
that was the best part.
They kind of just slowly walk around him, like they walked around like Pat Kenny, like they couldn't find him. Like he was covered in so much paint they couldn't find it. It was like, oh, is there a body here? And they were just kind of like, okay, just move along here.
Well, I guess you guys get out of here now.
Yeah,
you boys
like,
run along.
Just go now. Just segment's over. Let's go. And it's like there's no like drama in their stepping, no drama in their arm move, in their body language. No, it's all right. Let's go.
It was just like you guys move along now. You boys move along now. Get
like,
going.
Hey, you spilled some beers. Just it's sad black shirt security.
Seriously. Like give me a break, guys. Can you try? Like what the hell was that? I don't mind the feud. I think it's a good feud. These guys it's a very it's a very middle of the card type of feud. But they're, you know what, they're adding. This is the stuff that Russo gets overlooked on. Now, today, this would just be a regular match. They literally would just throw them out there a couple weeks in a row, talk maybe a couple promos. But you know what I like about Russo? Like they added all these elements to it. They had Trinity attacking Desire, Siaki out there. They had these two attacking Pat Kenny, pouring paint on him, pouring beer on him. Yeah, fucking Irishman. You know, it's like you make it feel important. It's a small feud, but you gave it something. You know, that's what I liked about it. You gave it something.
As long as they don't do a leprechaun on a pole match or something.
Oh, enough out of you with the pole. It's enough. That's enough out of you with the pole. There's no poles going on here.
I'm gonna be nice to your face, and then I'll go bury you behind your back.
Picture of Morrissey. Where we go? Oh, we get a recap. Now, Eric Young, remember he returned last time, and we get a recap of the Eric Young Goldylocks saga. But dude,
Watts.
I'm sorry, Eric Watts.
Yeah.
But they added a really, really fun element to the video package.
They did.
The crazy girlfriend voicemails from Goldylocks. This was brilliant. This was fucking brilliant. So they're doing a montage of all the stuff that's gone on between them, her mental breakdown, but they're playing crazy girlfriend voicemails that she's left him this whole time throughout. And it's like, next message received that. And it's like her going nuts. Next message received. Oh my God. Like, this is the kind of shit no one's doing today. Add a little element to your fucking feuds.
Yeah.
These little things that they took the time and said, go record a couple of voicemails. It was so good. I loved it.
Well, and it's also a timestamp because now you're like, okay, I'm going to go check my voicemail. I know one person that uses an answering machine.
Well, this is also 2004.
Keep that in mind. That's why I said it's like it's a timestamp.
Oh yeah.
Total timestamp. It's like, they show the old classic big clunky machine with all the buttons.
I know, but it was so cool. Like I thought this was such a nice element, though.
Yeah.
To add that in there was really awesome.
Now you're supposed to ask me who this one person is that has the answering machine.
Yeah, who has the answer machine, J-Bone?
My dad.
Oh, like to this day still has it? Yeah. Can I give him my old iPhone? Can he just what the hell?
He doesn't go anywhere.
That's true, yeah.
Well, and when he does, I'm taking him, so he's always with me. So
well, then why does he need an answering machine? If he's home, he should be getting all the calls.
It's when he goes to the bathroom, the phone rings.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yep.
We go to Scott Hudson with Erik Watts, and he's talking about how Goldylocks ruined his life. She's like, I was penniless on the street. I had no money. I was broke. Like
it made it sound like it was like a legit divorce. I was like,
I know.
God, what the hell?
I was like, what exactly happened between you two, man? I did like threatens Abyss. It's a match coming up. I do like that he goes, Hudson, which way to the ring? Hudson's like, right through there where it's always been. He goes, thanks. And he walks the opposite way, which I thought was kind of cool.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. And he's like, Erik, you know, like, so
it's like, wow, this relationship really messed him up. He can't even tell direction now.
Now I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what though. So the match happens, right? It's Abyss and Erik Watts, dude. The crowd still loves Watts. They still love him. Like he was so over in the Asylum. It's mind-boggling. The dude, they loved him in the Asylum, and he's been gone for a while.
It's like the two chicks way in the back. This whole show were like they're just, oh my god, their panties were wet the whole time. It was hilarious.
I think Sabin and I told us, right, because he was real cool. He would come out, hang out with all the fans and shit. I think that was the key to the Asylum. You want to be over in the Asylum, you have to come out and hang out with the marks afterwards. Which
party time.
Party time. I see it now at AAW. I see like the wrestlers who come out after the show to their merch table for the end of the night merch table and hang out, and then hang out afterwards. Like you get a beer, like hang out, take pictures with fans, shoot the shit. They are very over because people want to connect, man.
There you go.
So I see them doing it all the time. It was a slow but methodical big man match. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
Goldylocks comes down at one point, tries to take a bat from Eric Young. She kind of like throws him off a little bit. Abyss gives him the black hole slam, gets the win. Goldie gets on the mics. It's running down Erik Watts. And then she's kind of real crazy lady at this point. And she's like, she takes some money and she's like, oh, I'm the crazy one. She goes, why don't you? She goes, I left you penniless, huh? Why don't you buy yourself a Happy Meal? And shoves like money in his mouth. It was hilarious. And then like he gets up, starts choking her. Abyss saves her. Black shirts come out. Abyss destroys them. And then Watts gets the bat and takes Abyss out to end it. Long segment though. Real long.
Yeah.
For a side feud, real long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, we'll see you later, brother. Go watch this episode, though. We're hoping to get Mark back on these once December hits and things calm down on his end. So I know he's dying to throw back. We're on 90. Mark, we're on 94 next week. There's not too many of these left. So hopefully he can get in.
These 5 a.m. meetings have to stop.
Know.
Somebody needs to like protest. You know.
I know. Like, no. Why would you?
We're fighting for you, Mark.
We are fighting the good fight for you, Mark. Long segment though, huh, J-Bone?
It was, but I like this because I've been waiting to see where this was going to go with Goldie, and we actually got Watts back. Is it the top feud of the day? No, but I do like Goldie, and I do like me some crazy Goldie. So yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, for what it is, it's entertaining, right?
Right.
It's entertaining. Scott Hudson, who's all over the show, J-Bone. He's everywhere. He is like, there's so many Scott. Bill would have been going nuts.
Dude, he'd have been doing shots.
We got this guy again.
Yeah, he's back. And he's with Armando Quintero and La Parca. And he's talking about La Parca.
The chairman.
The chairman of the board, La Parca. And they're kind of talking about the Ultimate X and the whole the World X Cup and everything. And then Raven interrupts and basically beats up La Parca and says it's all about him. Nobody cares about La Parca. Screw you. It's all about me. And then walks off.
It's like, that's not going to come and bite him back later.
Yeah, right. But he, so that happens, and that's the end of that one.
It's Wrestle House 2.
I had to play it. I saw it. I'm like, the hell was that? We go to West and TNA for the breakdown. Don West is in Midnight Blue on Midnight Blue. Would you call it Midnight Blue?
Sexy.
Very sexy. And this is where he says next week will be the biggest announcement in company history. I'm dying to know what it is. I don't remember what it is. I'd like to know.
So I'm like, okay, it's not Hogan.
Not at this time. No.
Sting already happened.
It's got to be TV. I'm guessing, but it seems early to me.
The only other possible thing is it's the return of Luger.
Oh, take it easy, J-Bone.
You're nothing but a selfish prick.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm one of like 3 people that's still a fan of Luger.
I love Luger. Oh, I love Lex Luger. Don't even get it twisted.
2 out of the 3 people in the country that love Luger are here on this podcast.
There has been a resurgence of Luger fandom recently because people are actually going back. There was a shitty narrative because everybody's like, oh, he killed Elizabeth. It's like, no, Elizabeth killed Elizabeth. She overdosed. He didn't fucking kill her.
Right.
And then people are like, oh, he's a 2-move guy. But then he's been getting put over a ton the last couple of years by guys like Flair and the Horsemen. Like, they were really like, no, Luger could fucking go, you guys. And they're like, just watch his NWA stuff. And there's been this resurgence of love for Luger. And dude, I don't care what anybody says. Lex Luger in the NWA was fantastic. Fuck everything. That guy was great. The U.S. title feuds and shit, dude, he was fantastic.
I loved him.
Me too.
There was a guy back. It was my best friend right before high school that lived in the neighborhood, John Gilliard. John Gilliard, if you're out there, I miss you. I love you. I hope you're doing well.
Look him up on Facebook right now, J-Bone.
Oh, I've looked. I can't find him.
John Gilliard, come back to J-Bone.
Yes. Yeah.
Love him like you once did.
Grew up in Milwaukee.
John Gilliard, come on, man. Get back into J-Bone's life. Please.
We can watch some WCW again.
Yeah.
But I remember Johnny. The one thing I remember about John is because we'd sit and watch wrestling every Saturday morning. I'd go over to his house. We didn't watch cartoons. We watched wrestling. And we'd watch NWA, WCW, whatever it was at the time, with the studio, with the smoke and the one that Shivani always was, most famous for, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he would talk about Luger, and Luger would come out there and he'd be doing his stuff and he'd be like, watch Luger. It's like, okay, I'm watching Luger. He goes, look, he's got asthma. It's like, what? What are you talking about? It's like, Luger's got asthma. Look, he's always, and you watch him, and Luger would always do this thing. He'd walk around the ring going, like almost like Ultimate Warrior style. It's like, holy shit, maybe he does have asthma. I was young. I didn't know shit at the time.
Yeah.
But that was just, I don't know, it stuck in my head. It's funny.
I like Luger. He was pumping up. That's what he was doing.
Mayor, he is not a loser. You stop that.
Oh, get out of here, Mayor. Come on. I love Lex, man. Flexy Lexi, man. Come on.
The Lex Express.
Did I tell you one time it passed me and my family on the highway during the Lex Express tour?
Oh.
And it made my dad follow it for as long as we could until we had to split exits. He's like, I can't follow that. We got to go this way. I'm like, no, Dad, Luger's on the bus. I need to meet Lex. He's like, we got to go the other way.
Don't care what he's doing in the back of the bus with God knows who. I need it.
So James Storm interrupts at the end of the segment and says next week it's him and Kid Cash. So he puts the challenge out there. We get a recap video of Raven and AJ's kind of feud with some new promos. And then it's the match. It's Raven versus AJ Styles, who's NWA Heavyweight Champion. I don't know, man. The tease of Raven's destiny just never coming true is really starting to bother me. But the match is great. It's a professional wrestling veteran match. Crowd really loves AJ.
Oh yeah.
It's just a good match. It's just a really solid match between two guys who get it. You know. Before we go into the shenanigans, as Bill would say, anything about the match, J-Bone?
No. I mean, Raven's in pretty good shape here. You know, he's certainly looks like he's in better shape than he was maybe before, you know, when he was, you know, things about him were a little more questionable when he was back and forth, you know. He looked great here.
He's solid, man. He's a vet.
He was almost the cover again, but he was cover on the last one, so I didn't.
Yeah, he was. Ref gets knocked out at one point, and then La Parka comes down, strutting to the ring to get revenge.
Here's that receipt.
Yes, here's the receipt for the earlier break, the beatdown. Now immediately, I don't know about you, but I was like, this doesn't seem like La Parka. I was like, this guy is, I don't know. And the movements are a little weird.
Oh, as soon as he started strutting around the ring, and I'm
with the. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm like, that is not. I'm like, I grew up watching La Parka. That is not La Parka. That's
now who it ended up being. I didn't guess at all, so I totally forgot this. But anyway,
I thought it was going to be Russo. Honestly,
I thought so too. That was my first guess. I'm like, it's Russo, and he's going to turn, but it wasn't. La Parka knocks out Raven. The receipt. Styles gets the clash on him. AJ wins. La Parka gets in, unmasks, and it's Chris Harris. And the crowd goes nuts on this.
I died laughing because Raven is sitting there on his knees looking disheveled.
Yeah.
And sad. Like, why? This is a title match. Why would you do this to me?
Right. It was so funny. He's like, what? This was my destiny. What did you do? And then, like, he fucking unmasked, and it's Chris Harris. And Harris looked great. Like, I thought it was cool. The crowd went nuts. He starts beating Raven down. Storm gets in there. They double team.
Yeah.
Heels and faces. Chaos. You know, mass hysteria, right? Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria. They're all in there.
Ghostbusters references.
Tons of Ghostbusters references. Good catch too. And Russo gets on the mic. Hey, come on, what the hell are you doing? He's like, Chris, you are out of line with this. I defend you, but this is too much. And I love Harris just goes, no, Vince, you're out of line. And Vince, he's like, this is bullshit. He goes, this is all about me and AJ Styles. You know, I deserve to be in that cage. I got screwed. I want the world title match. Give me my match. This is, I earned it. I got screwed. AJ gets up and he accepts it. Next week it is. 4th defense for AJ in 4 weeks.
Crazy.
So, but here's the thing, man. They're really like these Raven and Harris are two guys that keep giving that false hope of title wins of. And, you know, the audience is like, all right, we're going to get it. But, man, you know, they keep pumping AJ like crazy here. Like, they really, you guys wonder why he was like Mr. TNA. Like, guys, they pumped him up from show number 1 as like the guy. You know, he goes through everybody.
Yeah.
And it's nuts.
Well, I think it's I don't know. This just popped in my head now. I'm thinking like they didn't have any super mega heels.
No, well, it's Raven.
Well, they had Raven, but who else you got? Everyone else is like, it feels like a bunch of bid carters. And the X Division is so jacked right now.
Yeah, at this point, X Division's jacked. They're too focused on the World X Cup. Yeah, the only big heel they got who's made is Raven at this stage.
And Monty Brown's just coming in there.
Oh, yeah, he's way too new. Way too new.
Yeah.
But it's just Raven because there's nobody else at that level, right? Yeah, you're right, though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Kid Cash, maybe that, but now they stuck him in a tag team. So he's been there so long, but he could have been, but he's in a tag team, so he's out of the picture.
You can't do anyone like Swinger or Gilberti.
No, it's mid card. I don't know. That's weird. You're right. They don't have a mega, top guy here. What they should be doing is turning AJ. To be honest, at this point, you should be turning AJ. Because they needed some heels. They're not even fucking heels right now.
Yeah,
You're right. I didn't think about that. They are out of heels at this point.
And one thing I realized, who's missing from this show?
Jarrett. Oh
no, Jarrett.
No, Jarrett. Yeah, Jarrett. Mayor just said it too. Yeah, Jarrett is the big, but he's not featured 2 weeks in a row. Jarrett is like buying his time, but he did tease it last year. Remember, he's like, "Don't you worry, AJ. I'm gonna get my revenge." But like, he's off right now. They're letting him breathe. So
yeah, because I mean, he's been there nonstop for almost 2 years.
And it's been nuts. Yeah, like he's been all over the show. You need to let it breathe.
Besides because he went back and forth. He's constantly been a feature. So yeah, he needs a break.
Yeah, so they had to let it breathe with Jarrett. They couldn't keep going. But yeah, they got to turn somebody because at this point you're very face heavy. But
or bring in someone new and refreshing. Something's got to give at some point.
But that's the show, guys. Next week it's AJ and Harris for the title, and that is episode NWA-TNA number 93. Good show.
You mean La Parka?
La Parka. Episode of Parka. But I like the show. This was a good episode. This rebounded from last week was rough, or 2 weeks ago, or last week's show here in order. But 92 was rough. 92 was a rough show. 93, I really enjoyed. I thought I had fun watching it. There's a lot going on, and they were just boom, boom, segment, and there was no dead air. There was total nonstop action. So, it
was. It
really was.
It took a while for it to get going, but other than that, it was a great episode.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. 93 is a good one, guys. I'm going to put that on the good list. So definitely check out 93 if you haven't. But that is the episode. That is all of it. So we can start wrap up. It's late. Jay, any other closing thoughts you got on this one?
No, I just can't wait for
Mrs. J Bone's in here. And you know,
hey.
You know what, Jay, can I put over what I got from Mrs. J Bone last night?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna go grab it. It's right behind me. So give your closing thoughts, but that's 93. Let me grab something. I need to show you guys. Let's go ahead, J Bone. Give your
we're gonna put over Mrs. Bone. But yeah, this is fun. Look, and I still love it. It's actually funny. I literally got done watching this, and as soon as it ended, my Impact Plus kicked me out, and I can't get back into it. So yeah, it's kind of wonky. So hopefully it'll let me in for the next one. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Oh, Trent can't hear me right now. He doesn't have his earphones in. All right. So yeah, but yeah, good episode. I was just saying, Trent, I said the site kicked me out.
What did?
Right after Impact Plus.
Of course.
Like I got done watching the episode.
Yeah.
And also it went boom. It went straight to Locked Up. And I'm like, wait, what the hell? Because it always goes into like the next episode.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's it doing? And I tried refreshing the page and it's locked. I tried logging out, logging back in, and I'm like, I'm logged in and I'm locked out of everything. And I'm like, good timing. Glad I finished the episode.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can get back for 94. Otherwise, we're in trouble.
You know what's funny? You mentioned that when I first logged onto it, they were all locked, and then it kind of refreshed itself for a second. Then they all went unlocked. It was so weird. Plus is a mess. It's still a mess. I'm so disappointed in Impact Plus. All right, real quick before we get out of here, guys, I got to show you guys this.
Yeah.
Mrs. J-Bone. Now, 2 years in a row, I have picked Mrs. J-Bone is one of the most creative people I have ever met in my life. She does it by hand. She crafts things by hand. Last year, I got an Advent calendar from her.
It was a 12 days of Christmas.
12 days. I'm sorry, it was a 12 days of Christmas. Advent, 12 days of Christmas, book, and it was a. How would you describe it, Jay? It was kind of like a.
It was like a book.
It was like a book. It was a book. Yeah, I had the book.
Yeah,
like it looked like an old Disney storybook, and you open it up, and it's got the individual boxes.
Instead of looking at a regular calendar where you just open up the things one at a time, this was a thick book of two sides that you opened up. One side had 6, the other side had 6 for the 12 days of Christmas.
And a bunch of treats in each one. Now,
right.
And like I said, it looked like the old Disney, when you watch old Disney movies, that the big book opens up. It kind of reminded me of that. This year, the very talented Mrs. J-Bone said, I'm making an Advent tree. And I said, whatever the hell it is, sign me up for it and get me one for the nurse. And she asked for the colors, nurse tropical color. I said, make it Hawaii themed. Me, do whatever you got to do. I'll trust you. So J-Bo and I met up last night at the Cracker Barrel, had a great dinner, and I picked him up. And guys, this is mine. I got to show you this. This is a piece of art. Look at this. I'm going to zoom out a little. Look at that. She put a guitar.
And you hold the bass, you can turn it.
The whole thing turns. Look at this.
The whole thing turns.
Look at that. The thing turns. It's even got the nutcracker on this side. Look at that.
The top piece is an ornament. The guitar is an ornament. That's just
the guitar is an ornament. I didn't even catch that. I can put that on my tree.
You can take that off. It's just hot glued on, so you can take that off. Just be careful,
guys. I got one for the nurse, and she made it Hawaii themed, and then I dropped it off, and she flipped her lid last night. It was awesome.
She threw it at you. No, I'm kidding.
Dude, she loved it because there's all these hidden little Hawaiian elements in it. It's December 1st, which means, Jay, I'm gonna crack open box number 1.
You can live
on the air right now. Look at that.
There you go.
Box number 1's opening up right now. Look at that. Look at this. Dude, she puts in good shit in here, by the way. It's not like it's like a little fun size Snickers. Got Lindor chocolates. Look at this. She puts the good stuff in here. 2 Lindors for buff day number 1.
Nice.
Guys, absolutely think about doing something like this. If you missed the 25, get the 12. I highly. These are an amazing gift.
It's just a smaller tree.
Yeah, and guys, you can support a independent artist this way. So do that. I absolutely think this is one of the most beautiful things.
Everything is homemade on it from top to bottom. I mean, except for the ornaments, of course. But
absolutely gorgeous. So this is J-Bone. Thank you very much for another year of my calendar. So, and we get to meet up. It was really nice. We all got to meet up, have dinner together.
It was cool. And it's not like we live that far away, but it's still, with everything going on and, life and stuff. It's not like you can't just go down the hallway and knock on his door or whatever.
Yeah, we're going to meet up at we're going to meet up for Pete's.
Don't mind that my cat is like trashing my office.
No, I'm going to have my Lindor live on the air. Thank you, Mr. J-Bone. J-Bone, get the plugs in here. Let's get out of here. Where can people follow you?
You can find me over in that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast. You can find it on YouTube, Twitch, and wherever. Oh, goodness.
Dying
we're dying.
Wherever podcasts are found.
Everywhere.
Yeah, we want me to do the whole Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon thing for you too?
Close.
Okay, almost. He's on all the podcasting guys. Smash this podcast. But Jim, what about your personal? Where can they follow your personal?
Oh, Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150.
Very nice. Guys, you get me at Trent Zuberry over on Twitter. Also, the show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Audio of the show, all audio platforms, Apple, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon, and Geo7 in India. Rate, review, and subscribe, please. Big shout out, Saudi Arabia on the charts again, iTunes charts. And there was another one we were on, Germany, I want to say. We got on charts in Germany in iTunes, dude. I don't know where Impact's big internationally. They're watching Impact. They're listening to us. Guys, thank you very much. It's collective. It's not just a one show, or sometimes we've seen the single shows being like the pay-per-view ones get their own little listing because there's so many listeners, but it's a collective. It's us. It's Throwback. It's Flagship. It's UK. It's the pay-per-views. The network itself is charting a lot, and we appreciate that. So thank you guys internationally who do watch and listen. We appreciate you very much. It's nice to hear you guys.
Oh,
I understand.
And speaking of UK, I want to give a shout out to Bison and the crew, Steve and the Joker. They got an announcement coming tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. Yeah, let's just say there's going to be a lot of beefalo going on.
Really? All right, guys. So there you go. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, US.
If you're on the Patreon, you already know because you got the announcement Sunday night. That's another nice thing about being on the Patreon. You get previews of stuff that everyone else has to wait for. So get on the Patreon.
And there's our segue to the Patreon, guys. You can sign up for the TNI Patreon, patreon.com/We Talk Impact. Just tons of tiers. Go check them out. Bonus shows, watch alongs, free streams, private chat rooms, all sorts of little perks, guys. Get on the Patreon. Tons of stuff. ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. And also the Spreadshirt. Hey, go to TotalNonstopImpact.MySpreadshirt.com. Tons of merch. If you took advantage of any of the sales, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, thank you very much. Hopefully you did, because things were on sale. I did see PWTs and What a Maneuver getting into it online. Did you see this little feud going on online? What a Maneuver was calling out PWTs for their shirt quality. It was interesting. I don't know if anybody saw that. But
I'll say this, the only complaint I ever seen is that if you do want a a better quality shirt, there is a slight markup for
there's an upcharge, yeah.
But I've never gotten like a bad quality t-shirt.
Their shirts are stiff, and the standard ones are a little like hard. Yeah. And that was one of the things that What a Maneuver was calling them out on. That's the thing too. Like PWTs is like, yeah, you want to upgrade your shirt, you can upgrade the shirt. So if you want the softer one,
right,
pay more for it. That's the thing. It's up to you. They're giving you the option, but yeah, the standard one is a bit stiff. The standard one's a little tough. Yeah,
and that's on the distributor. The distributor is going to charge them more for the product. So
yeah, that's all. So, like I said, guys, it's up to you. Like, whenever you buy one of our shirts, consider that too. Like the upcharge is there. If you don't mind, like a heavier cotton,
some people like it.
Some people like it. I have a bunch of those. I've gotten the soft cotton ones from them. I don't like them as much. I like the heavier cotton ones. I'm a fan of those.
He's old school.
Yeah, some people like they'll pay more money for the soft ones. So whatever. Yeah. But consider that. Anyway, what else? We're missing it. So yeah, guys, Patreon, check it out. Please take a look. And also youtube.com/Total Nonstop Impact, twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. We're on everything. Give us a follow, give us a sub. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub per month. Make sure to use it. Don't waste it. You can get a free sub to one channel per month. So you make it ours. We appreciate that. Or make it Smash This Podcast. One or the other. Definitely support the family here. So, guys, I think that's it, right? Anything else, J-Bone?
That's it.
That's it, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Don't forget, TNI UK tomorrow afternoon. Flagship on Thursday with the watch along. No pay-per-views or Impact Plus specials this week, so nothing else. But we'll be doing some family dinner on the Patreon. We do random after darks. You might get an after dark on Thursday for the Patreons. So bunch of stuff. You get the random stuff. We have a fam's choice we got to deliver as well. We're like a day behind now on that. We need a fam's choice for November. We owe you guys. I don't know what won the vote. Got to check with Mark what won the vote for November.
Yeah,
we'll deliver the fam's choice.
We've been missing some squad members here and there, so it's a little harder to try to line timing up. It's not that we're lazy. It's called life. It's
I think what makes sense though is the fam's choice is accumulated from the month, and then you do it the following month. So we did that for October. ECW won it in October. We did it in November. Whatever won November's, we'll do it in December. We should let the month be the vote. Let's do it that way, and that way it's like you get a month's worth of the vote, and it's accumulated.
It gives people a chance to get into Patreon
and vote for it. Yeah. So let's do that. Big thank you to all the Patreons, anybody who's the super stickers, the tips, the subs. We love you guys. Don't forget NWA-TNA number 94 next week, closing in on that 100. 111's the end, so please watch along with us. It's fun when you guys know what's also going on.
And I'll be at Blizzard Brawl this weekend, and so yeah, you might get I don't know if it's gonna be Smash or TNI, but you just watch out for it. I'm gonna be doing some coverage from there. So
there you go.
It's gonna be the biggest. I'm gonna say nothing against AAW, Trent, but I'm gonna say it's gonna be the biggest Midwest show of the month. It's
definitely a showcase. It's definitely a showcase. It's all the guests. If you like meet and greets, that's a great show.
Legends, current people, you name it, they're all gonna be there.
Absolutely. So, you guys, one more thing to keep in mind. Just want to plug AAW, Ruby Soho, Ruby Riot, Heidi Loveless, whatever you want to call her, coming home to the place where she got her break at AAW December 30th. Brian Field mentioned he got his ticket today. It's going to sell out, guys. Logan Square, Chicago. This is going to be on sell out. If you want to meet Ruby Riot, Ruby Soho, she's coming home. AAW on the 30th. So grab that. All right. Tremendous. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much for everything, as always.
This place rules.
Hell yeah, that sounds
good. But, guys, we will talk to you later. Tune in for TNI UK tomorrow night. We'll see you. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. See ya.